Hello and welcome to The Thread of Gentlemen.
The Thread of Gentlemen.
How are we doing, gentlemen? We feeling good?
Yeah, all good, thank you. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, hot.
I took 3 shits today. I feel fucking good.
3?
Yeah.
3? What, in quick succession or?
Punage et trois. It was, no, there was a decent amount of time in between them and they got more angry throughout the day.
An angry poo?
Yeah, like there's morning one.
Yeah.
That's standard. That's biblical. That just, it's getting coffee. Then there's like the pre-lunch one. Set myself up. Then lunch came. It was souvlaki. It was Greek. Then the angry one came.
You've angered the Mediterraneans.
That sounds like some of the bands I saw at Download Festival. Yeah. At least when you used the toilet, you had actual toilet roll and you weren't in a cubicle like one of those Portaloo type things.
Okay, that's true. But when you say toilet paper,
despise them.
Sandpaper. It's office roll.
I'm fine with that. There's a little bit of roughage just to kind of like pick the bits off. Not comfortable, but it gets the job done. But no, honestly, festival toilets are the worst.
They are.
Yes.
They're not toilets. No, they're just they're rooms full of demons.
They are. There was one. It was a festival rookie. You can tell it was his first time. He wore flip-flops to the toilet.
Oh.
And
That's a guy that never leaves the hat.
Yeah.
No, that guy is the hat.
Yeah, he's the fucking...
It hadn't rained for 2 weeks and his entire like bottom half of his legs were just like wet and it was only piss. Piss, mud, and probably a bit of poo was just in there. And like, you know how flip-flops, they kind of like, when you get them wet, they kind of like do that kind of flappy thing. Like you get like spray up your back and up your legs.
Oh,
he had that.
I thought you meant the sound. Like, you know, is it somebody shagging or is somebody walking in wet flip-flops? You know what I'm saying?
But you know, when you look at someone like that, I'm just like, oh, dude, I feel so sorry for you. Like, just turn around, go home.
Like, I do feel sorry, but at the same time, fuck you. Like,
yeah, you got to learn the hard way. Unless someone says to you, no, mate, don't wear flip-flops to the toilet.
But do you know what, guys? Talking of poops at festivals, I think we need to get started. Shall we do some stories this evening?
Let's do some stories.
Hello and welcome to The Thread of Gentlemen,
a podcast where we take a kamikaze dive into the best
and often worst tales the internet has to offer.
I'm Johnny.
I'm Ben.
I'm Charlie. And without any further ado,
I think we need to get the show started.
Yeah, but well, thank you very much for sending this in. This one came in from Ben. If you have stories that you want to send in, please send them in to stories@thethreadofgentlemen.com.
Hey.
Like and subscribe.
I'd ask our viewers to send mail in, but we know that there's coming fecal matter.
Oh yeah, no, do that. Send things on a postcard. Send things to Phone John's.
Don't do this. Yeah, the equivalent of like an Irish letter bomb, but just poo.
John's address is beep 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 beep. Make sure you send everything you have into there. We want to smell it.
Oh, that's horrendous. We should have a PO box though. That'd be quite cool.
Yeah.
How'd you get a PO box?
I think you just buy one, don't you? You go to a place that sells PO boxes. I don't fucking know.
Honestly, I've got no idea. Right, anyway, so this one is called The Highland Games by Ben.
The Highland Games, I'm excited.
I like where this is going already.
So, a load of us went to Glastonbury in the mid-90s. I don't remember the exact year, but the Levellers were playing, so that dates it. I would have loved to go to Glastonbury in the mid-90s. Yeah. That sounds like a load of fun, that. So the toilets were a right state. Yeah, it's a festival, of course. That's what I'm saying. Because of the state of these, and this is probably back in the day, like when it's like long drops.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Awful. So because of the state of these fucking cesspits, we were all holding our shits in for like 3 days. 3 days of being off our head on acid and keeping our balloon knots tight.
Wow, right. No shits for 3 days.
No, yeah, well, you just go
confession. The first Reading, I was nothing for 3 days.
Was this from you, this story?
I've changed names for secrecy. Nothing for 3 days. Now, the following years, every day. But like the first year, nothing. I think it's because I ate cigarettes.
What's for dinner? Camels.
Yeah. Dust.
Yeah.
Oh, the absolute dream.
My colon and intestines have never recovered from that first year at Reading.
You got to tell him to not go so deep.
I got fucked.
When the last day rolled around, we were in a bad way and needed to dump ASAP.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But given that was the last day, the toilets were even fucking worse. Yeah, surprised they weren't set on fire. We hatched a plan. We decided, this is not a good plan, we decided we'd roll up a bin bag around the edges.
Not a good plan.
This is a really bad plan. And go in this little 2-man tent we had and have a shit in there. This tent was sold as a 2-man, but I could barely fit myself in. I mean, in all fact, I say it's a shit plan. It's quite a good plan.
I'll give him this. It's a plan.
So I had a spare co-op bag with me that I thought, yeah, like if worst comes to the worst, like I can just go in that.
Yeah.
So yeah, these guys planned it out nicely.
Again, confession. It's not really a confession. I thought of that, and it was even like one handle, other handle, straddle it, right?
Yeah.
And you've got the boo bag.
Yeah.
And I was between tents. So I dropped trail and I'd like prepped and I was like, go to church, man. Just fucking, you know what I mean? It's like, change your goddamn life. Just
Go to church. Fucking okay.
So I
terrible
didn't.
time.
I fucking didn't. But I was like, do you know what's more lonely is when you're putting the bag down and pulling your trousers back up and you're like, I need to go home.
That's a terrible time to have an existential crisis, isn't it?
Fucking
Yeah,
is.
it really is.
The other thing you could do is sort of dump on the ground and then pick it up like a dog. You know, use the co-op bag as like a doggy poo bag.
Inside out.
Yeah, you know.
Well, the easiest option is just dump and walk away.
I mean, it is, isn't it? And then maybe use the bag to wipe with. You know, that's immediately where I went. But
go 10, 20 metres away from your tent. Yeah, 5 metres, doesn't matter.
no, go to your mate's tent, right?
Take the hat, leave the shit.
Shit in a hat, put it on your mate's head, run.
Yeah. Anyways, moving on. Anyway, I go in. I roll my pants down. The tent was literally shaking where I was laughing, having a shit in this fucking tent. I did the biggest fucking moulder of a shit and piss. A massive bag of it. This thing must have weighed about 4 pounds. So he's released a small child. This was in the early evening, so I walked out to the field and tied a knot in the bag. I wound it up really, really tight. You can see the...
Don't act like you didn't give it a good fucking whiff before you did that.
Oh, man.
I wound it up really tight. You could see the creases on the surface of my poo creation in the bag. It was so tight. Like a fat guy wearing a child's wetsuit. It was a beautiful dusk evening. The levelers were playing in the distance. Huge crowd of like-minded festival goers. I'm off my nut on acid and it's time to get rid of my creation. Like something out of the Highland Games, I wound it and swung and swung and swung and I released it. This thing went about 200 yards straight into the levelers crowd. Anyway, love the podcast. Keep it up.
Fucking mum!
Freedom!
Well, listen, Ben, thank you so much for sending that in. And honestly, if you do have any more stories, please send them in to stories@thethread@gentleman.com. Like and subscribe, like all over the place, whatever. But this reminds me of a story very similar that my friend Dan had at a festival.
He was watching the levelers in 19...
No, he... I'm assuming it was Reading, but I might be wrong.
Did he receive a bag of shit in the head whilst watching the levelers?
No, so apparently there was this dude, and like he was carrying the bag of shit,
Right.
And he found like basically he just fucking launched it into the campsite. Some guy like it hit the guy. It didn't explode, so he picked it up. He picked up this other guy's bag of shit. He walked over to him. He fucking, he stood up to him and be like, what the fuck is this? He got the bag and fucking swung it into this guy's face. This guy, the bag of shit exploded every 10 in like a 10 meter radius. Both guys were covered in shit. One guy his own shit, and he fucking deserves it. Apparently the guy that did it just got the biggest cheer of the entire weekend.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's the worst kind of wet fish. It's not a wet fish, it's a warm brown.
But I mean, imagine that. Imagine if you're just in the in the blast radius.
This one's called POW! wow. It's block capitals with a fucking exclamation marks.
Wow.
By Jazzy G.
Or Jazzy G.
Guys, we are so professional at this.
All right, gents, love the show. Thank you, Jazzy
Nice
G.
one. Thank
That's
you.
very kind
Thank
of you to
you.
say, sir. He said, heard your story about the worst morning ever, and I think I might have it beat. Fucking, now this is the kind of guy we need on the show who's going to level up.
Good podcast stuff. You've listened to
So-
something, you've upped it. Good.
Yeah, so
Bring it.
just as a refresher, the worst morning ever was the guy who shit himself on the way to the train station, went and quickly bought some trousers, threw his trousers and pants out the window, which is a maverick move, and then opened the bag and it was a sweatshirt in there. And he was on a moving train with no bottom half and he shit
And
himself.
I still stand by the fact I'm not hearing a problem.
Yeah.
I'm just hearing something that Kanye might bring in next. It's just like fucking wearing that with some wellies or something. So anyway, I run my own little hardware shop. It's old school, but I like it. I'm the only one in there, so if I take a day off, I'm losing money. This is an old school man with a big old penis.
I mean, well, no, that's
Huge cock.
That's a leap.
It's
Yeah, okay.
It's big old boy. So it says, picture this. Don't worry, I already am. It's got a vein on it. First thing on a Wednesday morning, I've got the shits, something fierce, from eating Indian food the night before. Been there, done that, sir. Everyone
Yeah,
is just
very familiar with that one.
on your page. Already come close to bailing the pants before it even left the house. Oh, wow.
Oh, mate, call it off. It's not worth whatever
Lose
little
the
money,
money.
you're making.
Lose the money.
Don't go in that day, yeah.
Just, or update your business strategy. Either way.
Or update your pants. Just make some pants out of electrical tape.
Oh, take the pants.
Nowhere for it to go.
Take the pants to the shop. Fine, we can put it in the story. he thought, like, parentheses in brackets, thought about wearing pants made out of tape. Just duct taped to each leg. Yes, he wanted to bail on the pants before he'd even left the house. He says, I get to the car, fucking thing won't start. It's given up like I wish my arse would. Now, okay, at this point, the universe is telling you just end the day.
Yeah, just go lie in the bath, run the water when necessary, if you know what I mean.
So I'm running for the fucking train.
Oh, no. What is it with these people? If you've got the shits, don't run for a train.
So I'm running for the fucking train and I sneak out a couple of wet ones, no problems. That sounds like a problem, but we'll move on. My confidence is
It's
building.
never safe when it's diarrhea.
No, you can't say like, oh yeah, I bubbled out a fart and it only partially stained my underwear. We're good. Like, it doesn't work like that. So my confidence is building. Shouldn't be. I get down the high street and open the shop up. Okay, we're at the location. And I'm
All right,
assuming
this is
there's a throne on site, because if there isn't, you're in for a fucking ride. So just as I would through the threshold, the entire world falls out my arse. Wow! So you're just in through the door and rah.
I mean, at least it waited. Like,
Yeah, timing's perfect. And by the way, you work in a fucking garage, so you're gonna have jumpsuits, right? Tell me you have jumpsuits.
well, no, he said hardware shop, didn't he? So that's like screws and fucking.
Yeah, but there's still going to be some kind of outfit there. There's a high-vis vest that you could just layer
there'll
up.
be something.
There'll be something. Yeah, there'll be something.
I have to believe there's something, John. I have to believe.
Hold on to that.
So, I didn't even fart. It just happened to me. The Vindaloo I'd been renting for the last few hours had been repaid.
I love when people come up with like really good ways of saying things like that. I've rented a Vindaloo.
This is why our culture gave the world Shakespeare, because the English language can be crafted like putty. There is just things that we can do
Don't
with our
talk about
language.
putty right now. This guy wishes for putty.
It's trying to hold water. Oh my God. So I'm going to go back on this because there was an extension of that. The Vindaloo I'd been renting for the last few hours had been repaid with interest and a late charge.
That's
Love it.
fantastic.
Fucking love it.
Luckily, the pants caught pretty much all of it. Your definition of luck, sir, is different to mine. Yeah, I suppose silver linings, right? Brown linings. And so all of it got caught in the trousers and got off lightly. so I could freeball it for a bit. So you're living with this?
So what? So he's chucked the pants, but his trousers are basically all right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's a strategy. I wouldn't necessarily agree with it particularly. I think you're probably better off not doing that and just going home.
But the trousers got off lightly. They didn't get off.
And if he shits himself again, he's going to lose his socks and his
Game
shoes.
over. And the deed to his shop.
I feel like if you've pooed yourself, that's a pretty good sign to leave the situation, to go home.
Yeah.
No. You've put himself in this situation. You fucking live with it now. Have your cake and eat it. Shove it in. So he says, once bitten, twice shy, though. I knew I needed replacement poo catchers. That's not what we call them. That's not their use. That's
but
not their primary use.
He understood the mission, okay? He knew what was expected.
So I knew I needed replacement poo catchers in case the Indian assault started again. It will. It never ends. It's kind of like hiccups. You just don't realise that it's stopped.
Yeah.
It just at some point ends. I locked the shop up and walked to Asda up the road to get some new pants. Now, if I know Asda's like I do, this is where it goes down. This is just, it's like you should have gone to a Waitrose. Luck would have been on your side because this never happens in a Waitrose. Like if you just stack up the amount of weird shit that happens in supermarkets, I mean, if you'd gone to a Lidl, I think you might have actually just died of a colonic rupture.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I must have walked around that shop 3 or 4 times, but the only pants I could find were kids' ones. You buy them, you buy them all.
I mean, do you?
Make a trouser chain or something. Jesus, big t-shirt or a fucking hoodie upside down. We've learned from this.
I still have fundamental issues with this of just like, why aren't you going home?
Yeah, you're doing everything but going in the direction that you should be.
Yeah, you've made a mistake.
He says, needs must. Got back to the shop and squeezed myself into a pair of the children's tighty whities.
No, that's not needs must at all. That's fucked up.
They've got POW written on the front in big red letters. It's funny because all I'm hearing when I see that is prisoner of war.
Apt.
Yeah.
Oh,
Fuck
so
me.
he goes, which I then immediately also shat. Thank God for the multi-pack.
I think that must be probably one of the lowest points we've had when you as an adult man are shitting yourself in children's pants.
In your fucking Paw Patrol.
I admire this.
That is, I mean, fair fucking play to him. And also, thank you for writing and sending that one in. I really enjoyed that story.
Yeah, thank you
That
very
was
much.
great. What was that guy's name?
Jazzy G.
Jazzy G.
Jazzy G. Jazzy G went full circle. And you know what? He didn't leave the hat. He bought a new hat. And you know what? he didn't leave that hat either. Do you know what I mean? This guy has got more money than sense. But
He kept shitting in hats and then getting a new fucking hat and shitting in
How
it.
much weight has he lost today?
Also, never ever eat at that Indian restaurant ever again.
I went, oh, fucking hell.
All right. Well, that might be the brownest story we've had.
Yeah. I've got a nice short and sweet one here, boys.
That's the name of my penis.
Bring it on.
Yeah. It's by anonymous, so that doesn't ever bode well, really. Okay, guys, this story is called Bad Dad.
Nice. I'm ready for
I
this.
don't like it. Don't like it. Don't want to be here.
Get the beat button ready.
Okay, so when I was a kid, I used to be afraid of monsters under my bed or something creeping up on me in my sleep. So I would always ask my dad to check on me before he went to bed. It made me feel more comfortable. Yeah, as the dad of a young kid, I get that. One night, I was still awake and I heard him coming up the stairs. I wasn't supposed to still be awake and I knew I'd be in trouble if he saw me, so I pretended to be asleep. He came into my room and just kind of stared at me for a few seconds. Then he came up close to my bed. Then he came up close to my bed, lifted my blanket up, farted under it, turned around and left.
Good dad.
It's been at least 15 years and I remember this vividly and he still denies it to this day.
Yeah, I just love that. How do you know for a fact that dad just lifted it up and said, nobody likes you, you little bitch?
So I lifted up his kid's duvet, dropped his guts under it, put it down and then just fucked off into the night.
You aren't escaping that. I love that.
You're waking up with a tan, kiddo. Oh, fucking hell. Great stuff. Thank you for sending that in.
That's wonderful. See, that's the kind of story that I like, where they're just like, yeah, this is the Christmas my dad ruined my life.
This is how I got sepsis.
Do you know what I'd love? The only thing that would have made that story better, and it was perfect, so thank you for sending that in, is if the kid immediately vomited.
Oh, man. But speaking of perfect stories being sent in, Charlie, if people have got stories to send us, where can they send them to?
You can send them into stories@thethreadofgentleman.com. Also, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, MySpace, YouTube.
Your mum's tits.
Your mum's
Amazon.
boobs, Amazon. Yeah, we've got a little wish list going on Amazon, so buy stuff for that. Probably get an OnlyFans soon.
It's all
Subscribe on OnlyFans.
Yeah, it's a fucking shit ton of foot content coming your way, so I can pay my mortgage.
We're selling our bathwater as well, so I hope you're thirsty.
Yeah.
Or hungry. It is quite thick in places.
Bon appetit. Does anybody want to hear what goes down in Amsterdam hotels?
Please do.
I would love to hear what goes down in Amsterdam hotels. Hookers, mainly.
As the owner of a bed and breakfast place for the last 8 years, the craziest thing I ever found was an old battered notebook with "Why I Love Salad" written on the front, and then literally 40 to 80 pages on why salad was amazing. There'd be the occasional suggestion that the author believed that salad to be alive in some sense. Looked like it'd been written on and off over the course of several years.
Oh, see, in my head, I was thinking that was just like the mad scratchings of someone who's like made DMT in a bathtub. But
No, that's somebody who's just like salad.
that's
man.
someone
In fact,
who's just legit fucking mental.
No,
salad
that is
fingers.
someone that's been smoking a lot of weed.
Yeah.
I had a guy said his microwave didn't work, and I went up to the room and he'd locked a plate of food in the safe.
Div, I love that. That's so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
What do you say to that? If you're the guy that owns the building, what do you say to that? Just like, just look at what are you dumb?
Yeah.
Are you dumb? Like, it's a fucking
No,
sin.
you charge him for a new microwave. You said, "You've broken this one, dickhead."
They'd just be like, "Oh, sorry, it's not going to work. You're going to eat that." Hey, by the way, the guy put his keys, his passport, his wallet in the microwave.
Yeah, that's now black and on fire.
Then we've got another one from somebody that says, "Well," and I think they have 3 entries in this one. Checked empty room, left with doors wide open. On the table was a brown bag with $20,000 worth of cash.
Ooh, intriguing.
Pow!
There were 2 Charlies in the world. There's one Charlie that's like, yeah, you just hold on to that. And if anyone comes back, be like, yeah, I got it. Like, you owe me, because fuck me. And then the other Charlie that's just going to blow that night.
Now,
Yeah.
I'm just going to pick it up, rub it on my genitals, and then walk
Yeah,
out.
all that.
or just shit in the bag. The
Throw
guy
it
gets
into a
his money
crowd.
back,
Yeah.
but at cost.
Yeah, but then everyone's going to kill you if you shit in the bag.
No, do you know, I disagree. I fucking disagree. Because they're not going to kill you if you shit in a bag. Because they're going to think, this guy had $20,000 and he chose to shit in the bag. This guy's a nutcase. He sent us a message.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he shits in the bag, and then the gangster's like, "Yo, dude, I don't want any trouble.
Yeah.
Like, keep the fucking bag." So I'm starting to think that the hotel that this guy worked at was probably like a centre for illegal activity, because tried to wake a guy up on the checkout. He was dead. That's a lot of weed that will do that.
Had he been killed because he'd lost $20,000?
Yeah, there's starting to seem connective tissue. However, in true style of this podcast, basketball team used a toilet for communal poops. No flushing. All weekend, entire toilet was encased in a mountain of poop. They must have stood on the ledge of the sink to lean over or straddle on foot on the bathtub and somehow not fall into it. It took devotion. Horrible and what the fuck at the same time.
Hey, Tower of Babel.
Yeah, it's Tower of Babel, man. But this is the thing. Tower of Babel was done by normal human beings. This is a basketball team.
Yeah,
These
they're big
guys are
guys.
7 foot tall, which means that their shits are 3 foot long.
I'm just picturing, like, you know, in Jurassic Park, when they find, like, big lumps of dinosaur shit.
It's a big old pile of shit.
Big old pile of poop. Like, Jeff Goldblum's going to, like, dive out of it.
Oh, God.
This one is called Ducklings.
I don't like it.
I'm scared.
The guest said the mother had died and started looking after the ducklings herself. We found them in the lodge bathroom. After that, we were kept in somebody's office until the right people came to collect them. Why are there ducks in a hotel?
Why are there ducks in a hotel?
Questions.
Right. If someone says, oh yeah, the mother died and, I feel I have to take responsibility for these ducklings, they've killed that mama duck.
Yeah.
That's happened on a night out. Let's be fair.
And they had it with some hoisin and sauce, and it was fucking
I
delicious.
think they probably had it with some spunk.
Now, that was some Bud Light. Should we bring it back to Thread of Gentlemen?
Please.
Yeah.
Okay, there was one guy who stayed at least one night every week, and he always requested the same room. We thought he was maybe a drug dealer or something of the like, so we searched the room after he checked out one day. Turns out he was hiding a blow-up doll under the mattress. We threw it away, and he only came back once after that. I kind of felt bad for him.
So the guy is in Amsterdam, the home of prostitutes in the world, and he chose a blow-up doll.
But also, to our listeners, Ben is making the face of a blow-up doll and then simulating wanking an invisible cock into his mouth. That's going to be my new screensaver.
That's going to be a gif.
The other thing is
Thumbnail.
a blow-up doll. Once you take the air out, you can take that with you. It's not like they're stuck in the... He's a married man, isn't he?
Yeah, of course.
Jolene,
that's his safe space.
Jolene.
That's his masturbatorium.
I mean, there's everything sad about this. This is the same guy who probably masturbates into a bin.
Yeah.
Oh, the bin guy.
Probably.
This is the Amsterdam.
But like, it's on display. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're in the shop.
Yeah.
It's there for you to buy.
Blow-up dolls are cheap, hookers are expensive. What do you do? Well, in the vein of ducks, we've got another. This one's called cats.
Oh, right. Thing is, we fucked this up because last season we were like, send us all the animal stories.
Yeah.
And it's been people fucking drawing on seagulls and killing ducks.
Well, okay, cats everywhere. And $100 tip note with, so they've walked into a bedroom, I'm assuming, by the way, and there are just cats fucking everywhere in this hotel room. And $100 tip with a note that says, thanks for taking care of these guys, be back in a week. She didn't come back.
I mean...
Got $100.
You got $100 and you got dinner.
Or chuck them straight in the fucking canal in a bag.
Darkness incarnate.
John, you have cats as well.
Okay. Shall we return it back to a Thread of Gentlemen star is?
Yes, please, save me from myself.
I used to install flooring all over the place in various hotels. During one of the routine installations, I had to move the bed. As soon as I moved it over, I saw it. A behemoth purple dildo. Absolutely massive. We ended up jokingly chasing the owner of the hotel around with it a bit and held it with some tongs before we tossed it.
Yeah, you would absolutely do that. That reminds me of the horse one we had on a couple of episodes ago.
The horse cock. So maybe they didn't throw it in the river and the fucking carp ate it. Maybe they
sent it to Amsterdam.
In a hotel. No, I mean, obviously that never happened. I don't know where I'm going with that. But just imagine the airmail on that. That'd be ridiculous.
All right, I'll make this my last one. I saved this. I actually haven't read this one. So it says, my boss had told me the story of a couple on their honeymoon. So we basically set out to try and get things our guests asked for. These newlyweds wanted a chocolate fountain. Sure, my boss thought wouldn't be much of a hassle, right? No. They had searched like hell to find one. Well, after couples stay, they checked out and didn't really say much. When the maid is going to clean the room, she basically goes in and starts laughing. My boss comes into the room too, and there's chocolate fucking everywhere. You could see her arse cheeks in the bed and on the table and even on the roof. You could make out where they had started and where they had stopped. Sex chocolate everywhere, even on the roof. Love that. And then they said, I'm sorry to disappoint, but I totally fucked up my English over and I meant ceiling. So they actually fucked on the ceiling too.
But how do you, skill?
Yeah, splash, do you know what I mean? Like, you gotta...
Yeah.
Can we have a chocolate fountain? Yes, you can. The result, you're like, wow.
Sistine Chapel.
Wow.
Yeah, you'd applaud that.
Except it's like just a dick and a pum.
You would absolutely applaud that. You'd just be like, yeah, well done. Good darts.
Yeah.
Well done to these guys.
And you preserve that fucking room.
Yeah, exactly. If they want to come back for another one, yeah, absolutely. I've got that.
You have like a one-time offer only, and you're like, who wants to eat the preserved fuck room?
Somebody will.
Somebody would pay for that, wouldn't they? In Amsterdam.
Yeah.
So there you have it, boys. There's some random fucking stories. And the reason why I'm stopping there is because this list went on. And I think we should return to this at a later date.
I like part 2. I like this.
So people, this is our message to you this week. If you got fucked up hotel stories, been part of it, witnessed one, heard about one, send it in. Charlie, where?
You send them into stories@thethreadofgentleman.com.
Yes, sir.
Seamless.
It's like we know what we're doing sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
Just occasionally.
Not all the time.
No,
Not this time.
Unlike the people who shit in their pants and then reload.
We've absolutely mastered this now. Don't even worry.
Fellas, do we have a favourite of today?
Right, story showdown.
Highland Games for me because festivals, and I just came back from download and love it.
It's still fresh, like the poo in the bag.
I really like POW. I do really like POW. And then we have Bad Dad as well.
You said it wrong.
I really like POW.
There you go.
Pow!
But it sounds like no, not Matthew McConaughey. Who's the other guy?
Owen Wilson. Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Pow. POW. He's shitting some kids'
Oh
pants.
no, I shit my pants like the other guy. Wow, I shit my pants.
I think for me it's got to be POW.
I'm inclined for father who poos on son.
So it is undecided yet again. It's going to the crowd.
Put it up to the audience.
And I'm sure if you check out our Instagram, you can see the last couple of episodes and all of the favourite stories. Let us know, make a little vote which one you think should get the amazing, limited edition, highly sought after, one of a kind Thread of Gentleman t-shirt.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Also, John, I'm looking forward to seeing what GIF you could get to put on Instagram for father farts on son.
Do you know, some of these, it's really hard putting together the social media posts for this because, like...
It's a craft.
Some of these, like, okay, to give you an example and maybe give our listeners a bit of an insight how hard it is to market this podcast, everything I try and promote online gets banned. you know?
You haven't even clicked enter and you're just demonetized immediately.
Yeah, it's really, our marketing budget is great because none of it ever gets fucking spent.
Yeah, we're in credit.
Yeah. But, it's difficult, but I'll see what I can do. Guys.
Fellas, thank you for the stories. Sorry, John, I kind of cut you off there.
I was going to say...
You were going to thank us for the...
I was going to thank everybody for the stories.
Well, guys, honestly, thank you for the stories. Thank you for sending them in.
Hey, there you go.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. This has been The Thread of Gentlemen. We will catch you next time.
Thank you.
Adios. All the best.